Itasca Peacock Middle School, and I'm a docent here at the Itasca Depot Museum, and me and my friend Caitlin are going to give you a tour of the Itasca Museum. Hope you like it. So let's start off. In 1841, Dr. Elijah Smith came to this town, this land, and wanted to become a town. And he also wanted three things for it. He wanted a school, a railroad, and a general store. And when he came here, he can buy 88 acres for $100. And when he came here, he also met his wife, Jane. And then we don't have a picture of her, but we have a friendship book. It's like a yearbook, you would say, because you can write thoughts and then poems, and then you can write anything she wanted in there. And then when she died tragically, and then he married a girl named Mary, and that's a picture of Mary, and the woman that's Dr. Elijah Smith. And so after then Mary died, that's a picture of Dr. Elijah Smith and his wife, Mary. And then while they were married, they had two kids, Alan, Frank, and then they adopted a girl named Carrie. Right there is a picture of Frank. And they also had a son named Alan, but we don't have a picture of him. He died at a young age. He was about 12 or 13, we imagine. And then we think maybe after the loss of their son, they wanted to adopt a girl named Carrie. Or they wanted to adopt a girl, and her name was Carrie, so that's what they did. And after he lost his second wife, and then he married her sister, Jeanette, and this is a picture of Jeanette.
You could turn it around.
And she also died, but she died in a more tragic way. She got hit by a train in Iowa, and it's kind of funny because he came to the town, he brought a railroad and everything, and then all of a sudden she got hit by a train. I thought that was kind of funny, but I don't know. And then so this is like a parlor area. Like this is where maybe Dr. Elijah Smith would sit, and then you would also use it for mourning. They would have an open casket in here if a relative passed away. It was just kind of a living room right now. And walk over here. Can you guess why these curtains are extremely long? Anybody want to guess? Caitlin, want to guess?
Because it showed how much money they had?
Exactly. If you went to the store and you wanted to show them you had so much more money to buy the extra curtain, you would just let it lay on the ground. So it was kind of a thing to show how much wealth you had, and everybody would see it because this is where the guests came and partied. This desk right here actually belonged to the two sisters, Jeanette and Mary, and that's where they would do their work and everything. Okay, this would be Dr. Elijah Smith's home office. He had a home office because he didn't go to a doctor's office. And also, say we were sick or you were sick or whatever, we would call a doctor and we would set up an appointment to go there. Well, this is not the case. Someone would call Dr. Elijah Smith and he would get up on his horse and ride to their house. And when you get on a horse, you need something to carry your medical stuff with. So he would carry him with his saddlebag. So he would put it on his horse and just ride down the street. And then he would put anything you want in there, and also he might put these medical journals. A medical journal to them is basically like a computer because it shows all their cures and how to cure disease and sicknesses and their medicines. And then he would also, if maybe the house was 2 blocks away or something, he might carry all his stuff in this. And this is his actual medicine bag, if you want to say, and his actual hat. As you can see, this is glass, and back then it was all glass, not plastic, because they didn't really make plastic back then. Just a little history lesson. And then, also, we have, can anybody guess what this is? On the camera, anybody want to guess? Well, you might have guessed right, I don't know. But if you guessed bathtub, you are right. And Caitlin, can you help me take it down? It is a folding up bathtub. Voila! Now this is the bathtub, and it's totally different from what we see. And you might stick this in, say, your living room or your kitchen, because they didn't have a bathtub bathroom back then. They would have an outhouse, so you would walk outside and you would do your thing, and then you would come inside. And they only took a bath every week. Okay. Okay, they would take a bath on Saturday nights before church because they wanted to be clean, and it would always be the man of the house first, or if they didn't have a man of the house, it would be the woman, of course, but most likely the man. And then it'd be from cleanest to dirtiest, and so basically the dirtiest actually never got clean because it would be the same water that everybody else took a bath in, so it's kind of gross. And so the dirtiest one never got clean. And how this worked was you would go onto the well and pump the water and then take it in, and you would pour it in here, and then the gases up here would come down and heat in here, and you can see the knobs, like an actual thing. And then it would probably take about an hour or two to get actual like bath warm water, unless you want to take like an extremely cold bath or whatever, but I don't think we want to do that. After all the Smiths left Itasca, Josephine and Louis Mackenzie moved into their house. And then Louis Mackenzie was a ticket agent for this very building, but you'll learn more about him later. And his wife, Josephine Mackenzie, was also very important to Itasca. She brought 3 things to Itasca that was very important. One was the library. We had a library at first, but the Itasca government thought it wasn't that important, and they stopped it. And she thought it was, so she put that in her house. And it was called the Black Cat Library. As you can see right here, they have the name of the book and be a checkout list. You put your name and what book you took, and then each day it would cost 1 cent to read the book, so you had to read pretty fast because that was a lot of money back then, believe it or not. And then she also brought the women's club, and right here it was the women's club. And then she also brought a school. We had a school, but we didn't have a kindergarten, and she thought it was really important that little kids learn at a young age. And can any of you guess what that is? Okay. When we go into a school, you either have a chalkboard or a whiteboard. Well, back then, they had little chalkboards there, and they were called slates. And the teacher say, what's 2 plus 2? The kids would write on their floor and hold it up, and the teacher might go wrong, right, whatever she wants to do. And then you also get a little certificate right here from the Josephine Mackenzie. Right here, you can see her signature. In Itasca, Itasca was a little town surrounded by a bunch of farms, and they were mostly dairy farms. So most of the farmers milked the cows and shipped the milk off to Chicago, and they would do that by having the milk cartons, or tins, whatever you want to call them, and they would put milk in there, and they would bring them to the train station, or this train station actually, and ship them off to Chicago. And the way they would keep it warm or cold during the summer would be taking this ice block. They would cut big blocks of ice out of the creek, and then they would put them down in their cellar and cover them with a bunch of straw or hay, and then they would put the milk on top of them. And it became so big, we had 2 of our own Itasca dairy things. And one of them was called Itasca Creamery, and this was like a bottle where the milk could come into. And then we also had one that was called Itasca Dairy. And then say you lived right in town, a milkman might come to your door with a bunch of milks in there, and they would give you one, and then that would be your milk for the day or week.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I'm a docent here at the Itasca Depot Museum. We've been getting new exhibits lately, such as the one you previously saw about the milk, and this is also a new exhibit. This is a recreation of the original waiting room from the Itasca train station. This bench was originally in the waiting room, which was from the previous ones you just saw. It's the full size. And what they would do, the passengers that were waiting for the train would come and sit on that, and to keep warm during the winter, they would sit in front of the heater, and that would provide nice heating for them, and they'd stay nice and warm. This is Mr. Louis Mackenzie's ticket office, and he would sell the tickets through a ticket window, which isn't there anymore due to inconvenience, but usually he would sell tickets there. He would handle the freight, which would be in the back room back there, but that's a new exhibit. And he would also help with communications. Mostly he would use a phone, but every once in a while he would use a telegraph, something like that. And this is his real desk, which is set up a little differently, and his real chair he actually sat in. And we do have a picture of him. And over here we have an old bell from a steam engine that I'll ring for you so you get to kind of see here how they used to sound.
Hi, I'm I'm Shannon, and I'm a docent at Itasca Historical Depot. This is a 1941 kitchen, and this is very popular Sears House. And a Sears House is something you could house that you could buy in the mail, and you could buy anything in it. It brought you the nails and everything. Here's one of them if you want to see. And basically you could buy everything in the house. You can buy the paint. Well, the paint, everything comes with it. They would build the house, and then they'd take it all down, and then they would send everything into this room, and they would give you the nails, the paint, everything, and you'd have to build it yourself. And you could buy the furniture if you want. That was optional. Okay, and these are some of the Sears houses that are in Itasca. And the house right there, that house, this table was in that house. It's one of the Sears tables that they sent you. Some of the many tools that the 1940s one, like utensils that you would use was like this, and this is a cherry pitter, and so is this. This is also a cherry pitter. And this is a can opener.
Yep. Okay.
This is an Eggbeater. This is the sifter. Kind of gross, but this is another one. I don't know what it is. I think it's another sifter. This is an old-fashioned rug beater, and basically, like, if this was a rug, I'd go outside and get all, like, the dirt out. And, that is the conclusion of Itasca from 1841 to 1941. And these are some of the things that a kitchen would have otherwise.